Hmm. Okay, making this video about using becoming a heroin user and being diabetic. Okay, and there's some things that are similar oops, that are similar with both of them, and there are some things that are very, very different. Let me drop my glasses down there. Okay, there they are. Okay, anyway, I was reading, there's an article that I saw online yesterday, um, Wednesday, that um, was about heroin and people, a lot of different aspects of it, in the Cincinnati area. And they had about, from the Cincinnati paper, they had 60 people that were on filming or taking pictures or interviewing or talking to people when it comes to heroin, using heroin. And it had about the number of people each day. It'd have a number of people who had OD'd, overdosed on heroin, and how many people actually died that day from heroin. And so anyway, it had showed some people who would, some of the video clips had shown people who had OD'd and, medical working on, working on them and trying to save their life. And it had other stories too about the family and, families of people who had OD'd and died, and talked to them and, interviewed them and talked to them about different things, stuff. So anyway, it's on my Facebook page. If you want to see, that, just go to my Facebook page. Find out where it talks about the Cincinnati, I think, Examiner or something. Anyway, go there and click on that and read that. And it is just absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Because there was a story about a girl who was brought her daughter in for an appointment, or baby daughter in for an appointment. And she had used heroin when she was pregnant with her. And so anyway, she was at an appointment, every so often, to bring the baby girl in to have a nurse check her out, make sure she's doing okay, make sure she isn't suffering as a result of her mom using heroin. So anyway, it showed the mom, video clip, showed the mom kind of playing with her and, with her baby girl and stuff like that. And at the end of that part, it said that 10 days later, the mother had OD'd and died from heroin. And so I looked her up on Facebook, and it said remembering her. It's like she was attractive. She had a baby girl. Her she was getting married. She was engaged to the father of her little girl. I think his father. And so, she had just so much to live for. It's like everything was telling her, don't stick that needle of crap in your arm. Don't do it. She had so much to live for. She had her family, she had her friends. She had a baby girl that she needed to raise. She had her fiance, And yet, the addiction was so powerful that everything was telling her not to do it. But she ended up dead. Her addiction killed her. And I'm wondering, how in the world can something like that happen? How can you become so addicted to something, that you just absolutely can't give it up? I don't understand what it's like to be high. Maybe, I don't want to find out. I've never been high and I've never been drunk in my life. And I'm 52. Okay, never been drunk in my life. I've been goofy and kind of loopy, but never actually drunk. Never actually, never actually drunk in my life. So anyway. But yeah, I've tried smoking once, and I tried beer once my entire life. That is it. It's like, no, I'm not going to do either one of them. Not going to do either one of them. Okay. But, however, I'm diabetic. There's some differences and there's some similarities between being addicted to heroin. Oh, sorry about that. Between heroin and being a diabetic. Should get something to drink. Sorry about that. Yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, there's some similarities between being diabetic and using heroin. For one thing, if your diabetes gets out of control, you can end up just as dead as someone whose heroin addiction is out of control. If your diabetes gets out of control, you can end up just as dead too. That's one of the similarities. And but you need medication to live. Eventually, if you get so addicted to heroin, you need something. You need the heroin to keep you alive too after a while. after a while you need that too, you know, but um, but anyway, that's some of the similarities, you know, that you need drugs to live. You know, you need some drugs. But one of the differences between heroin and being diabetic is, you know, unless you get to the point where you're physically addicted to it, you don't need it to live. You know, you can live without heroin, you know, unless you get to that point of being physically addicted to it. You don't need it, you know. If you don't have heroin, you'll be okay, you know. But diabetes, with diabetes, you need food to live. You can't eat, you know. You can quit taking heroin and you'll be fine. You quit eating for a while and pretty soon you won't be fine. So anyway, but it's just the kind of food that makes diabetes worse is what you don't need. You can eat good food. There's no such thing as good heroin. Well, there is, but you know, it's not going to help you much if you take the good heroin and not leave out the bad heroin. It's all bad. It all can kill you. So anyway, yeah, you don't need, but you don't need junk food. You don't need Twizzlers. You don't need Ho-Hos or Twinkies or cakes or ice cream or any other food that's loaded with sugar. You don't need that. You know, my blood sugar is close to 200 about usually, and I've gotta get it lower. I've gotta get it down to about 130 or 150. And my A1C has got to be about 8 or below 8, you know. And that is the reason why I'm not able to take the driving test. Because if my blood sugar was in the 200s or higher, and I ate a lot of junk food and other stuff that made it go really high, I could possibly pass out when I'm driving and kill myself or kill other people. And my doctor said that she can't take the chance of me doing that. Even though she probably knows I would never do that. But anyway. You know, I think some more of the similarities is that when you're diabetic or have had a stroke, you know, and being addicted to heroin, it's a daily battle. It is a daily battle, you know. You know, when it comes to diabetes, if you have the money, you could walk into any store and buy things off the shelf that can eventually kill you, you know. Someone can walk into a store and buy heroin. That can happen. But someone who's diabetic can sure walk into a store and buy food that's bad for them, that's going to, that if they keep it up, could kill them. Yeah. But, anyway. Oh, man. Oh, I am so tired. I am so very tired. It is after 3 a.m. Oh man, I can't believe I'm still up. Because I usually can't sleep. Oh, yeah. Yeah, diabetes is not fun to have to deal with. If I could, I would. If I could get away with it, I would probably eating Twizzlers like I am addicted to them. That's how much I love eating Twizzlers. They are so good. And they can drive my blood sugar up so high that I can't, I just can't get them. I just can't go out and buy them anymore. I mean, there's other food like that too that I would love to buy, love to eat every day. But it's not going to do me any good if I do that. Oh, excuse me. But anyway, I'm so tired. I want to learn more about being addicted to heroin. I would love to go to a group of people who are recovering from that. I'm already a part of a group of people who are recovering from having a stroke. But, when it comes to being diabetic and using heroin, I would not want to change places with someone addicted to heroin. Never in a million years, because that can potentially kill you. If my diabetes was out of control, that could possibly kill me too. But the chances are a lot less likely of that happening than being addicted to heroin, or which is I can't think of the synthetic heroin that a lot of people also take, But anyway, I'm in Little Fargo, North Dakota, and if I would think aren't people here that I can buy heroin from, that's probably not true. There are probably heroin dealers here in Fargo. Okay. If I wanted to buy heroin, I go find the shadiest person, and they might be able to know who I could go talk to. But I don't want to do I don't ever want to know what it's like to be high on heroin. I never want to know what that is like. I am too afraid I will get addicted to it. Take it one time, shoot it up into my arm one time, and I'd be addicted. I don't want that. Don't want that at all. You know. Yeah. I really do. I really want to talk to people who have been addicted to heroin. Or family members of people who lost someone to heroin. You know. Or, is it methadone? What is the kind of synthetic heroin that'll kill people just as much when they're addicted to it? Can't remember the name of it, but anyway. I want to talk to people who are addicted to that too. You know, to go, okay. To find out why they got it, how they got started. You know, what did you do? Did you go from one drug to another, to another, to another, to another? Or did you just start, boom, heroin, day one? You know. But I think they went from one to another, got progressively worse, but I don't know. Anyway, and I'm so tired. I need to go to bed, and I need to get some sleep. You know.